This is Mr. Impact Wrestling himself, Moose, and you're listening to the Irish Whip.
Hookers? Hookers and Coke?
Hookers and Coke, man.
You're the only pro wrestler I know that wants to do this shit in the morning.
Yeti, you're a f***ing moron.
Put it this way, I think Sami Callihan might as well just change his name to Invader
I
Warner.
want to know why. Like, he can dodge any question. Like, I'll tell anyone that. You can tell me but I'm going to ask specific questions.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all the rest of you yahoos who are out there dilly-dillying you little wankers, we're actually receiving real wrestling news.
This is
Brett screwed Brett.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Brett screwed Brett.
Hold two! Arm bar!
Hey, get a nice shot of the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate your hat. I hate your t-shirts. I hate your wristbands. I hate your shoes. I hate your music. I hate the C Nation. I hate everything that you stand for.
Sodas rule.
Yeah, they do. What's up, TIW Mafia? JP here with Big Joe. This is our SummerSlam prediction, because we got a big show coming up next week. But to read about it and find out who we got on, and he's major, you got to go on the WNS boards at WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Real quick, though, not to cut you off, but I just want to let you know that it's November, and we're not having SummerSlam. We're having Survivor Series.
Did I just say, all right, well, whatever. I'm a little confused.
At least it's not a technical issue weekly.
No. Did I really say SummerSlam?
You did.
Man, but we're going to run through Survivor Series. We got a couple of things. We're going to start our segment for the month, or maybe a little longer than the month, maybe into Christmas, that actually was one of your ideas and is freaking genius. And that's the Wrestlers' Christmas wish lists.
There we go.
You good if I start with that?
Please do. I can't wait to see what it is.
I hit up Anthony Green.
Retro.
About it. Of course, Retro AG, one of our good friends, and within minutes, like I literally mean minutes, he came back with this list. I'm not going to sing it.
Yeah, sing. You get at least, if you don't want to sing, at least put it into a little bit of rhythm.
I have no freaking rhythm. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you still have to do it though. It's like that's part of it. Like even if
well,
you say
put
it
it this way, it's like the alphabet. I think no matter how I read it, it's going to turn out being sang at the end.
Yeah, so just give it a whirl.
12 rolls of wrist tape, 11 fanny packs, 10 pairs of Zubas, 9 graphic tees. Probably bought on ProWrestlingTees.com for Retro AG. 8 action figures, 7 autographs, 8 jobbers laning. Sorry, I messed up. 12 rolls of wrist tape, 11 fanny packs, 10 pairs of Zubas. Probably use code Retro AG. 9 graphic tees, 8 action figures, 7 autographs, 6 jobbers laying, 5 main events, 4 call-in spots, 3 Irish boys, but he put 3 Irish whips, 2 pairs of trunks, and 1 Ava Taker for AG. He literally came up with that within minutes. And yeah, I know I screwed up some of the numbers in there at one point. I'm leaving that in.
I'm not even worried about the numbers. I'm just worried about your singing voice.
I have my CBD water here. I haven't had a drink of water, and I have a cold still. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blame it on the cold. The voice of a herd of buffalo running. But
yeah.
On the cold.
You should hear my mother sing. It's worse.
Your mother sings like an angel.
People have thought she was crying. Yeah, no one said angels could sing good. But, I mean, we got... Dude, Survivor Series is like one of my favorite all the 4 major pay-per-views, I call them still. Mania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. Like, those are my 4 big shows of the year.
Those are the 4 corners of all the pay-per-views. Like...
But I just love Survivor Series. But I love the old school when it was like every match was a Survivor Series, 5-on-5 elimination match.
Like then you go back to the days when like the most famous match in Survivor Slam history.
Yes. Montreal.
Montreal Screwjob happened in 97. Some of these people listening probably weren't even born then.
No, that's true. They're like, what the hell is that? That was not the 97 Montreal Screwjob was the 97. I didn't even realize that until you told me beforehand.
Do you know what else?
That was Survivor Series.
Do you know what else the Survivor Series is famous for? The debut of the Elimination Chamber.
Was that a Survivor Series?
That was a Survivor Series match in 2002.
Okay. I just loved like Team Hogan, and you know what I mean, when it was all the teams, and now it's like. But this year, like it's still only 2 Survivor Series matches. It's the women and the men, but almost every match is Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. So you still kind of get that feel to it.
But you get that new blood coming in. You'll get to see how the NXT is interacting with these new guys, and you're gonna see how who's next. You're gonna get this is where these virtual unknowns, I'll say, get their launching pad.
And some of them, I mean, they've done a good job. Like when it just happened, where the whole Saudi Arabia thing just happened, which I know next week we're going to get into some deep detail on.
Yes.
They were kind of screwed in at the last minute. They sent the NXT guys in because they didn't know until like that day that there was going to be everybody was going to be down in Saudi Arabia, stuck on a plane. And those kids did it, and they did a freaking damn, like Tommaso Ciampa. I will say this: when he was here, he was a Massachusetts kid on the Independents. I wasn't a fan, but the kid is so fucking good now. You can't deny it.
Well, it's the same. Look at it the way I look at it. Looking at somebody like that is take it like you read a book when you were in high school because they told you to, but then you read it again as an adult. You're gonna get a completely different perspective on it.
I worked at Hub. I rented the movies.
Well, I was gonna say the same thing with the movie. If you watch a movie as a kid, you're gonna get a different aspect of it as you was an adult. Not saying that, but
yes,
time will
you're
change
absolutely
that.
right.
Time will change that. You see something one day and give it some time. It's going to get better. Like, the first time you try something, you're not going to like it. You may not like it, but give it time. It grows on you.
Now, have you followed any of the WWE?
To be completely honest, like I've said in the past, I've got a bunch of stuff going on right now, and I really haven't been able to see any of the. I've been following the highlights, so I haven't seen any of the mid card stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like I don't even watch that. Like I don't watch Raw too much. I don't watch SmackDown at all. I watch NXT, I watch AEW, and I watch NWA Power. And
it's almost like in today's day and age, there's too much wrestling on. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just like it's on. It you have to pick and choose now. It's not like you're going to watch like, this 5 years ago, there was just a WWE.
Right. And that's like me and you. We'll go to a local show. We'll go to like a Beyond here and there. Or we'll, like I was down at New England All-Star Wrestling, which they're going to be running monthly starting in January, I think, on Thursday nights. Once a month. In Kingston. So.
Isn't there a show we might be going to this week? This Friday? Not that I don't know if but we might be going.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I want to talk about it. I don't know if we'll make it or not, but Wakefield, Mass. Did you ever watch in Boston on the cable access, like the Saturday morning cable access wrestling?
I remember watching it every now and then, but I used to get so frustrated because the camera angles were so horrible.
But seeing like Tasmaniac and stuff like that.
Yes.
So that show was run by Tony Rumble, and Tony Rumble passed away 30 years ago. And this is Friday in Wakefield, Mass. is the Tony Rumble Memorial Show, and it's being put on by Jason Rumble, who was his Tony's adopted son, pretty much. and Tony's wife is actually a big part of it. So I would like to try to get out there. If you look at the poster, if you know the legendary Bull Montana, like he's in the center of the poster with this, it's hysterical because I think they did it by accident. But there's like an angelical light like coming out of your head right now, coming out of Bull's head in the picture. It's hysterical.
That's cool.
But it's just, I believe the money is going to go to Tony's wife and probably he had a couple of kids as well that are going to be like older now, obviously. But I think they have like a scholarship fund or something set up for them. And it's a good chance to see some of the old timers that were around back then.
Back when, like, chops were chops and bumps were bumps.
Yeah, so this was like 30 years ago, and it was, I can remember watching. I didn't go to the shows, and they were local, but I was, 14, 15 years old. I had better things to do. I was getting wedgies by you.
Hey, I think I might have gave you one.
But, it was Tasmaniac, who later became Taz. Sabu was on these shows. I think he had Van Damme on a couple. Prince Albert and all guys like that were around. But then there's guys that are still kicking around in this area, like Rich Palladino and Jason Rumble, Bo Douglas, those guys. So, but yeah, that's Friday night in Wakefield. I would like to go to that one.
Is that going to be just in-house, or is there going to be a broadcast of that anyway? Do you know of?
I don't think so.
Okay. And if there was, I'd totally love to put that out if we knew it.
Yeah, that's more of like almost like an intimate thing because of what it is.
And if we find out about it, that there is one, we'll put it out on News Source forums and under the Irish Whip page and put it out that way.
And I know as far as performers, like I know Brawler Malonis is on the card, and I think it's mostly local kids other than that, local guys and some of the old timers that were around back then. So
yeah. Things like that, you'd always see somebody who's been pushed up top, like coming back just to say.
They did one maybe 10 years ago, and Prince Albert literally showed up and just watched and hung out in the crowd.
Yeah, that's the same. Things like that, you'll see people just be like,
"Yeah,
hey, I might come hang out."
So you don't know who's going to be there, and they don't know. Honestly, they probably don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean they know who's on the card, but for all you know,
Yeah, but we do. So Survivor Series, man. I'm looking at the card now, and it's literally every match except for the WWE Championship is the three brands. You got the U.S. Championship, U.S. Champion AJ Styles. Versus the North American Champion, Roderick Strong. Versus the Intercontinental Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. I could see them, because I don't think any titles are on the line. I could see them on that putting Roderick Strong over, putting the young kid over.
I can see that too. But at the same time, though, they've been pushing Shinsuke so far down. They've been keeping him so down.
So you could have Shinsuke outside with the rest of the OC and AJ and Roderick going at it in the ring.
Yeah.
I think it may not be that exact type of finish, but I think something along that lines, where almost the rest of the OC winds up costing AJ the pinfall.
Do you think something like that will wind up in pinfall?
Yeah, I think that one would.
I mean, they did call WWE has been known to call a no DQ match, and
they did not. That was not a disqualification. That became a no contest.
Yeah.
It was a ref stoppage.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's still it has left a sour taste in my mouth.
If you're trying to make it look real, the ref would stop matches more often.
That's true. That's very true.
That's my I know like, I'm in the minority on this belief. Like, I know a lot of people see it the way you do, and like, we're pissed off about that, the Hell in the Cell match.
Yeah.
But that was a way to finish that match, and I think they thought it made them both look strong. To me, it made Seth a little weaker.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, but I'm just a fan of a match being what it is, what it says to be. You know.
Yeah.
Like they had the Buried Alive match, and then like the dude literally got covered in dirt.
Yes.
Yeah, granted, we all know there was probably a tunnel underneath and blah 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 blah. But from fans' perspective, watching that,
he got buried in dirt.
Buried in dirt, you know.
That's true. The 80s and 90s were a great time to be wrestling.
Yeah, and that's
matches.
That's where I cut my teeth on it, and that's what I'm like. You know, I don't want to say I'm a realist or I'm a what's the word, old school or whatever you want to call it. It's just if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, then it's a duck.
They're doing the same thing with the tag champs. So you got the Viking Raiders, the Revival versus Undisputed Era. I don't know on this one. I obviously I'm biased towards the Viking Raiders.
Same.
I like Undisputed Era. I'm not a fan of the Revival.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Raiders.
I'm going to say the Raiders too, but again, I don't know too much about this, but just...
I think any interaction between the Raiders and Undisputed Era is going to be fucking awesome.
There's going to be a lot of heat coming out of that match.
That's...
What else is on the card?
The women's championship. The women's championship. So Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Shayna Baszler. I think Baszler actually.
I'm a big fan of Bayley. I like Bayley.
I'm torn on this one. I'm gonna say Becky Lynch.
No, I like Bayley. I just like.
See,
she's just a little. To me, she's a little ball of fire.
And she's go. I like she's got a little mean streak now too.
Yeah, I like that. You want to let her go. You're gonna let her in there. She's small, but she can pack a wallop. You know, she can hold her own. That's Bayley gets my vote on that one.
And then you're down. You got the WWE Championship, which is the only match that's not 3 teams, and that's just Brock versus Ray.
Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Versus Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Ray because I hate Brock Lesnar with a passion. I don't think I just don't. I've said it before. I just don't like him. Never liked him when he came into the WWE, and I just don't.
See, I appreciate him. I don't necessarily like his style, but I appreciate that he's an attraction.
I just don't like that they have him as this invincible force.
Have you seen the dude?
Yeah, but I just don't like him. I don't think he can work.
Here's the thing: is he's a big dude, but a kick to the head is going to knock anybody out. So Ray could win.
Ray's best bet to win that is to tire him out, keep him moving.
Do they put the belt on Ray though?
Well, he's had it before.
Yeah, I know.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see why they wouldn't. I like to see the belt on Ray. I think he can carry it.
I think he can too. I just don't know that they trust him to.
It all depends who they put around him as well.
All we got left is the 2 traditional matches. Let's take a quick break. and then we can run through those. We're about 20 minutes in.
All right.
We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're back. The next thing we got is the 2 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series matches, but this time they're 5-on-5-on-5.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like the whole setup of this card. I hope this becomes a regular thing because for years, so it's granted it's not WWE and AEW or WWE and WCW or whatever, but for years fans called for like that super card when during like the Monday Night Wars, like you wanted to see Stone Cold versus Goldberg. You knew you were never going to get it, but this is kind of doing that because the NXT. Granted, it's not a separate company, but it's a completely separate brand.
Yeah.
It's run different.
It's like a different company within a company.
Yeah.
You know?
Proper and Gander. WWE is Proper and Gander, and NXT is Gillette.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's literally run completely separate with its own management and stuff, so... But on the women's, on the 5-on-5, what we know of right now is you got Sasha Banks, who's the captain of her team, with Carmella and Dana Brooke, with 2 to be announced. None of the 5 NXT superstars on either team are announced. And the 5 Raw women are not announced. But it's basically going to be every woman is going to be on this card. Because there's just not that many of them.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing with Sasha right now, she kind of has to be in the last couple people standing. So it has to be her team, I would think.
I just hope that for the fans' sake, that it's not going to be an all-out 5-on-5-on-5 in there all the whole time and it's chaos.
Oh no, it's you'll have to tag. You'll have those spots definitely.
Oh yeah. I just hope that it's just not for the fans' point of view that it's not just like, quick brawl, then it's over and on to the next, and this is just a typical women's match. No one really wants it, But but I just don't, because that's the way it was in the past.
Right, but from seeing what like Charlotte and Sasha and like that group of women have done, I don't think they'll let that happen.
Yeah.
And I mean they only get so much control, but they're the ones that are out there in the ring. So once that bell rings, they get the control. It's I don't think they'll let that happen. And I think Charlotte's going to be one of the women in there. I think Shayna Baszler's couple of girls have to be on the NXT team. There's just a few that have to be. And then you got... I'm picking Sasha. And that's not biased. That's just the way everything's going right now. Since she's come back, they've been very pro Sasha.
It only makes sense too, where she's the one that's got like a lot of the, I don't want to use the term heat on her right now, but a lot of the main storyline coming back.
Yep. And this is the other thing with this, is you get to get random matchups on this when they do this, because it no longer matters in these matches, babyface or heel, because you're not wrestling good guy versus bad guy. You're wrestling for your company.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of people I don't like, but like I'll defend them as far as
it's
work.
like
same idea.
You made reference earlier to me giving you a wedgie. But bring that back. Look into it the way it was. You had your group of friends, my group of friends. We were all knew each other. We were all friends, but sometimes we acted up. But if somebody else messed with you or somebody else messed with
you guys came down first. That was the truth.
And that's what it is. It's similar to that. You rally behind your group.
And then we got the men's. And I saved this one for last. I know we did the WWE Championship earlier because I don't know. That was just my preference, really. You got Seth Rollins, who's the captain, with Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet, versus 5 NXT superstars who I would think have to be Tommaso, whichever member of Undisputed Era is not in there, Gargano, and I don't know what other 2 they might take. Versus 5 SmackDown superstars, which I have no idea. That could be anybody. And I think since I picked Sasha, I think I'm going to go with the SmackDown team, even not knowing who's on it. There's nobody on that. Seth Rollins can lose. Randy Orton can lose. Kevin Owens can lose. McIntyre, Ricochet can lose. You know what I mean?
I'm going NXT for the men's only because, and like, not taking any name out of it, I'm just seeing an upset. I'm seeing somebody's chance to shine.
And that would be historical.
This is going to be the next, you're going to see the next big thing come out of that match.
That would be absolutely historical. So that's
what I see.
Good
that's what I see happening. Because you haven't really had somebody like burst onto the scene.
But say like Tommaso's say it is NXT and like Tommaso's the last man standing. He already invaded Raw, so why can't he invade Raw again and say, "Hey, I just beat you guys. Now give me a shot." And now,
exactly,
now you got him sort of main roster.
And that goes back to what you're saying about bring us back to Ray taking the belt. And when Ray takes the belt off of Brock, I'll give you a shot.
And the other, I mean, the 205 Live guys aren't in there. I think they're technically part of NXT, so. There's a few, the Bruiser. Who's the Bruiserweight there? The one that steps on everybody's fingers.
Oh crap! I can't think of his name.
I could see him being in there. That's just going to be. I think it's going to be a fun pay-per-view, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I might actually watch this one.
That's the 24th, of course. Pre-show starts at 5 p.m., which means you got a 7-hour pay-per-view.
Holy Jesus, that's a lot.
Oh no, probably 6 hours. 6 hours. Probably ends at 11.
That's a lot.
That's gonna interfere with all my Disney Plus viewing.
That's more wrestling in one night than I've really had done in the last 3 months.
That's sort of what they've been doing though. Like fucking WrestleMania.
Was it like 9 hours?
Yeah, WrestleMania is insane the way they do it.
Yeah, and you gotta get your tickets to go down there, huh?
Yeah. I'm all booked up.
I gotta figure it out.
Jump on it, man. I sent you the plane ticket stuff. I can send you the flight numbers and whatnot.
Even I don't know. I'll figure something out. It's in Tampa, right?
Yeah, and Kyle's down there, so Kyle's gonna meet up. I know a few of the other podcasts will be down there. There's talk of like reaching out to a couple of the bars to see if we can do this at the bars.
Well, that would be cool. Probably bring some people.
Talks of wrestlers coming through that will be on. I've already talked to a couple that are going to be on shows. A couple exclusive kids that are on shows that can't do other shows that are going to get permission to do this, and some fun stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm definitely going to get down there. I just don't know when. I might have to wait a while and bite the bullet and buy like the expensive ticket last minute.
Hotel's all booked up.
I just got to get my ass down there.
There's 3 beds in the hotel, so it's like the 3 Irish boys' room, man.
I'll bring an air mattress if I have to.
You are an air mattress.
I'll do what we did last time we went to Mania.
An mattress.
I'll do what we did last time we went to Mania. I'll make it on the couch.
Yeah, fucking dickhead.
My back's messed up too now. I'll have to flip a coin for it.
Well, there's beds. There's 3 beds.
That's true.
Well, 2 beds and a pull-out couch.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, we'll have to put Yeti on the pull-out couch and roll him up in it.
The room is the room I got's a suite. Like I didn't go cheap.
Yeah.
So, I kind of went cheap. It was cheap. But I know Chris Rock is in the same hotel, and There's a whole bunch. We're right next to Busch Gardens, so there's a whole bunch of stuff right in the area.
What's the over-under on the chances of us getting kicked out of the hotel? Because I'm definitely going down. I'm just going to figure it out.
50-50 probably.
Yeah.
There'll be some alcoholic beverages on my part. I know not on your part.
No, but I still act stupid.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of like, somehow getting a hold of the key to Rucker's room and putting his mattress in the shower or something.
Well, you gotta be. I don't know if he's gonna have his wife down there or not. I think he is.
Who do you think we're getting the key off of?
Oh.
As long as he doesn't have the kids, that's different. If it's just him and the wife kicking her ass, if the kids are there, I won't do it.
That's no kids. And we'll have Kyle. Kyle will be around, so he'll find the strip clubs.
I'll strip for everybody.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there'll be trouble had. Plus, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, like WrestleCon, and like it's all the other. I don't even know if I'm going to grab a WrestleMania ticket.
I might even see if I can. I'm going to reach out to some people and see if I can work WrestleCon.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of some people that handle all the wrestlers.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was talking to Palladino the other day because he was at New England All-Star Wrestling, and he's already got. He's going on his own, but he's already got the Game Changer Wrestling.
Yeah.
Booked up, and he usually does something with WrestleCon, so can probably try to tag along with him. I'm sure he'll show up wherever we're at, especially if there's some beers.
Hey, remember that girl that was with us at WrestleMania last time we went?
No.
Yeah. There was me, you, and then there was, I don't remember their names, but there was the friend of yours and his wife. They didn't stay with us, but they were there. We kind of.
Oh, yeah. Dan and Renee, yep.
Yeah, and remember that girl, their friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked like she got punched in the face by Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still wants you.
Yeah, I know. I know. There's a funny story about her and me being scared and running.
She wanted to kill me that weekend.
Why?
I don't know. I remember we were out by the hotel, like after the Hall of Fame ceremony. And we're up by the hotel, and we're just walking, looking for something to do. We'll probably find. And I said something, and she started chasing me. I think I called her Rocky Dennis or something.
Jesus Christ! Oh, she does kind of look like that.
Yeah.
She looks
like a face with lipstick.
That couple became swingers.
You know.
They may have been swingers at that point, and I just didn't know it. Whatever, but. Was at a party at their house with a few other people who weren't. And we start looking around, and there was like a UFC fight going on or something that night. But we start looking around, and like, there's a lot of stuff going on that doesn't just happen at parties. So I go into the other room just to watch the UFC fight, and she walks in, fucking topless, and sits next to me. I got up and ran.
Oh my God.
I literally got up. I grabbed the kids that I was with that weren't into that. Obviously we're all into like naked chicks, but that weren't into like what was going on at the party. And it was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God, those must have been like Franken boobs.
Yeah, it was horrible. I couldn't even tell you. I just fucking literally left that quick.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's take one more break, and then let's come back and we'll talk about Survivor Series 97 instead of talking about how I survived a fucking horrific event.
Oh my God, that's catastrophic. All right, we'll be right back. TIW Mafia.
All right, guys, we're back. Just real quick, on top of that, you can go on to manscaped.com. I use all of their stuff from the razor to the cologne, and the cologne is unbelievable. The stuff I chafe all the time, and they have the preserver, which will prevent that. It's awesome. I swear by the stuff now. And you can use promo code IRISH, and you'll save 10% off your whole purchase, plus get free shipping. I highly recommend it. This stuff is quality. It's so good. And the razor, it's incredible. Not a single nick, and you're down in your nooks and crannies at that point. So, look good for the girls. You don't want no 70s bush, no buckwheat in that headlock.
I haven't heard that in so long. But even so, you are putting the razor near your, your private part. Still be careful.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Don't be careless with it.
Because if you do jack yourself up like I did, it's operator error.
But you did not use a Manscaped.
I did. And I did it again, but I didn't do it properly. I didn't follow directions. But, you threw out the code word where they can save 10%. There's also another code word we have for another product. That's Death Wish Coffee. If anybody likes coffee like I do, they're going to have twice the caffeine. Death Wish Coffee is the best coffee I've ever had. If you go on there, I believe you use Irish Whip, the code word Irish Whip, all one word, lowercase, you'll save 10% off your order.
And they got some cool stuff on there, too. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts coffee guy, but Dunkin' Donuts coffee is watered down. Death Wish coffee tastes like coffee.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good, and it's just like you take a sip and you're like, man, that was coffee.
Death Wish coffee is so strong it'll put hair on your balls, and then on top of that, then you use the Manscaped to get rid of it.
But in the Death Wish, I have the clean canteen from them, the 16-ounce
travel bag.
Yes, and that thing, I'll pour a hot cup of coffee at night because I don't feel like brewing it first thing in the morning. I want to have it right there, and I'll just leave it out in that, and it's still hot and fresh in the morning.
And they also have other products come out. They're coming out with, they have the cold brew cans, which are amazing. And they're also coming out with an instant.
Really?
A Death Wish instant, yes. That will be on the market real soon. I feel like that's safe to plug since Jeff talked about it on the Cats.
They actually, when they sent Peteopolis the prize pack, who won the last contest from us with them, they actually sent him some of the cold brew.
Oh, nice.
So he actually got, I think, he got a pretty good package out of them. I think he got the cold brew instead of the T-shirt, maybe.
Either way, it's still the cold brew.
Yeah.
Cold brew is some good shit.
That's
nice cup of ice.
I love iced coffee.
I love coffee, period. The thing I like about, with Death Wish, I'm not like you said, it tastes like coffee. I'm not a black coffee drinker, but with Death Wish, I can because it does have a good taste.
Oh, see, I love black. I don't put cream or sugar in my coffee typically. Once in a while, I'll go to the random local donut place and get a flavored coffee. But again, you don't need that with Death Wish. It's coffee flavored coffee.
You like your coffee like you like your men.
Where's the punchline?
Black and strong.
Okay. I like coffee flavored coffee though, and that's what it's exactly what Death Wish is.
But check out their website as well. They got a lot of products coming out. Their mugs are amazing.
Man, that Valhalla mug is so nice looking.
Yep. All right, what else we got going on? We're going to talk about what stands out the most for us out of the 1997 Survivor Series Screwjob.
The amount of snot that was in Bret Hart's spit that wound up on Vince McMahon's face.
Yeah, I'm picturing that now, and it was.
I remember seeing that live and looking at my parents and saying, "Is that fake too?" Because my parents were, every time I watch wrestling, I'd hear it at least once a match. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. And then when he mouthed the words and he did the letters WCW in the air, which I'm now doing like he did, and no one can see that. But he and then spit at Vince McMahon's face. that was whether or not the whole situation was real. And I'll be honest, I'm sort of up in the air.
I'm up in the air on it too.
If it was, if that was set up, that was the best wrestling setup in the history of professional wrestling, because the fact that that was 97 and now we're in 2019 and we're still talking about it.
Even when Brett and Vince seem to have buried the hatchet, but that's still an issue.
Yes.
You know, like I remember watching that and like it being like, oh, okay, Brett's leaving the company. I guess, all right, we got to find somebody else to like.
That's the thing is everybody knew Brett was, well, not everybody, but like I read the wrestling news groups.
Yeah.
I read the wrestling news groups, which was like what the web pages are now. It was just a little different. News groups were sort of like what WNS board is, like you went on and you could post stuff. And people always knew when somebody's music shipped, because back then it wasn't just an MP3, it was on the tape. People always knew when the contracts were up, like they do now, and when new contracts were signed. And it was known that Brett had gotten a huge deal from WCW.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, everybody also knew Brett should have lost that match because of that.
Exactly. But Brett wanted to leave with the belt.
Yeah, Brett didn't want to lose in Montreal on a pay-per-view in front of his hometown crowd. His family was there. I get that. At the same point, do the right thing.
Exactly.
And
but, like I said, my favorite memory coming back out of that isn't so much the fact that it happened. It's the fact that, like you said, now it happened in 97. Here we are in 2019. It's a bigger issue now than it was then.
Yeah, and it's because now, like, people still talk about it. That now the internet is so big, they almost look for stuff like that to talk about and compare stuff to. And you know, Earl Hebner doesn't ref a lot anymore, but he still referees here and there. Brian Hebner refs a lot down in NWA and stuff like that. His son. Shawn Michaels is still actively involved. He's coaching down with NXT. And Bret Hart's still actively involved. Actually, the thing we're going to be plugging next week is a Bret Hart tribute show. Again, if you want to find out who that is, and it's a pretty big guest, it's someone I'm excited for, you got to go on the WrestlingNewsSourceBoards.com. I promised I wouldn't release it outside of that until a little bit closer. And the WrestlingNewsSource.com bulletin boards are awesome. It's so cool to have something like that back. Have you been on there?
I have been on there. I've been on a little bit. I've been poking around. It's very retro. Getting back to that, it's very the dawn of the internet. You know, it's no one else does that anymore.
No, if you want to, like, if you ever thought, hey, I could write a review on a show, or I could write an article about a wrestler, or I could report wrestling news, it's a good place for you to kind of start out.
Cut your teeth at it.
Yeah,
go to
get your feet wet.
Go to a local show near your house and come back and write out a little blog about it.
Because the people on there are very active. And it's just cool. And we're going to be doing a lot of our announcements out of there. And our shows will be posted still on WrestlingNewsSource.com on the main page, but will be posted on the boards as well.
We maybe run a contest, a few out of there.
Yes, there'll be stuff like that. Like I know Ben, Ben's been a supporter of us since day one, and we've been a supporter of his since day one.
Yeah, it's almost like you can say one wouldn't be here without the other, and it goes both ways with that.
Oh, absolutely. There's people on there that they just did a kind of get familiar type of post with some of the people that are posted on the board, and there's actually people on there that remember wrestling-radio.com. I was kind of surprised.
And I gotta mention, one of my favorite users on that board is his name, Camel Toe Clutch.
That's
Camel
awesome.
Toe Clutch is amazing. I just love that name.
That is pretty funny. That's
That
original.
needs to be on a T-shirt.
I wanted to make my name Real Ben, WNS.
Just to mess with people?
Yeah, just because I know he's going to be Ben WNS, so I could be the real Ben WNS, but I didn't. I'm on there as JPTIW, just like my Twitter.
I'm Big Joe TIW.
We might set up a 3 Irish boys on there just for post and show stuff.
Yeah. Or even if we just keep everything under the one page we have, it'll be there.
Yeah.
But and then if you get a question on us, you want us to you get a lead for another guest, you want us to try to reach out to somebody, put it on those boards. Let us know.
Yeah, we'll make every effort. Like, we've been lucky in the fact that, like, some of these guests have been coming to us now, or in next week's case, going to Ben.
Yeah. Like I said, if you get a question, if you get something, hey, I've always wondered about this X topic, whatever, you know, why did mankind ever use the sock? Whatever, bring that up, put it in the boards, we'll talk about it.
I'm waiting on a Christmas list from Brutal Bob Evans that I think I'll have this week.
Oh, that's good.
And he's been doing some stuff. He's been up with TM. He's been doing a little traveling with Impact the past couple weeks.
Ooh. As a trainer?
No. Kind of backstage. He's trying to be back. He was on ROH for a little while, a couple of years, recently, within the past couple of years. And I think he's looking for another run real quick.
Nice.
He just did. This is a funny story, and this is I don't do a lot of insider stuff, right? This will be a little insider story from me. I was sitting at the show. I was talking to Mad Dog Matt Storm, who hosts the Pier 6 Wrestling Radio Show. You can, if you look them up on Twitter and stuff, they do that Sunday mornings live. Him and Rich Bass. But I was sitting talking to him, and Matt ran PWF Northeast and NECW, which me and Caleb, who runs New England All-Star, both started out at. So Bob and his tag partner, Tim Hughes, Tough Guy Inc., get in the ring, and they're fighting two of the local kids. And Bob and Tim's stick is a lot of talk. And they get the fans to either hate them or love them, but it's a lot of talk before they even lock up. Well, they're doing their thing for 5 minutes, and Caleb comes out telling them, giving them the signal to finish the match. They hadn't even fucking locked up yet. Me and Matt were dying laughing. Caleb wasn't so happy, but I think he got over it because the crowd was huge into the match. What there was of a match. But it's, those guys know how to get through they know how to do what they have to do in the time limits they're given, and they do it in a way that's fun. And that was the opening match. It was perfect. It was great. I loved it. But that was probably my favorite part of the show.
As long as you can sell the product, you're good.
Yeah, and Bob is I love Bob. He's such a nice guy. And that was my first time meeting his tag partner. And he's a good dude too. And they're both just talented as hell. And Bob's been around for 100 years or so. So I'm waiting to see his Christmas.
Kicking the ass for saying that one.
No, he knows. But Bob, I'm looking forward to this Christmas list because Bob, he was a guy, for whatever reason, I didn't know him at the time, but there was a few people that just didn't get along with him for years. And now there's only one that I can think of. And the reason that everyone else gets along with him now is because he reached out. He said, hey, listen, I know this happened and this happened. Sorry for my part of that. And he's been so positive and just trying to go. He goes out of his way to help everybody out. It's really cool.
That's how you get life. You got to help everyone out.
And that's why he's Uncle Bob.
It's a lot easier to lift somebody up than to keep them down.
That's very true because it's easy to get down. But I think that's all we got. You got anything else this week?
No, just gonna throw my usual plug at the end that if you're struggling with something and you need some help, reach out. People are out there to help you. You're not alone.
That's it. And we're guys who, I'll speak my part and say that my depression's not horrible, but I suffer. And, so there's people out there that kind of understand, and I think all three of us, all to different levels, have our own shit, so one of us will understand.
Yeah, if you send us an email, info@theirishweb, we'll help. We'll reach back out to you.
Or you can do Big Joe or JP at irishwhipodcast.com now.
Oh, yeah.
It all goes to the same place, full disclosure.
Just different name. But yeah, seriously, anybody listening, if you need some help, if you need someone to talk to, we're here.
That's it, guys.
All right, TIW Mafia, we're out.